second in Melee and then almost hit top 64 in Ultimate as well. He got 65th there. That's really hard to do when you're cycling between the games at the same time. And now going up against another veteran of Smash Brothers and PkChris, the long-time Long Island, I believe, Ness. I know he's New York.
Yeah, he's been around for quite some time. So let's see if HBox can do a little something here to PkChris. I think it should be a good match altogether. HBox having a hard time finding his way in, and that can be an issue. I think Ness has some pretty good disjoints. But yeah, if he's able to get in like this, usually whenever. Oh, wow. Oh, man, what a stall. That was so smart. And he's still actually trying to fight his way back. Does manage to do such. But I was going to say, yeah, once Jigglypuff normally gets in, sometimes it can be a little hard to get her off you, even though she is a relatively slower character. The combos don't make you feel that way.
I mean, she's the floaty lord, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you play against her as a floaty as well, she's probably going to have the advantage. But PkChris doesn't make it back after HBox tries to interrupt for a kite block, misses that. But PkChris also right back into the action here as the stocks are back to even. And like you mentioned, Ness's disjoints can be a really big factor. It's all down to how HBox is going to use all that aerial drift, and he's using it rather well. Great recovery again by PkChris, but Hungrybox staying on top of him.
Yo, the pound edge guard? Okay, HBox, man. Looking like I definitely played this game for real now. So that's not like, oh, I'm just letting some Smash skill transfer over. Now, that was a targeted punish. Good stuff right there to HBox to get himself a solid lead relatively early in this set as well. But, I mean, it is Jigs. If she... I was just about to say, if you get hit by this T2, you're gone, and that's exactly what happened. Not respecting the option. And now we got an even game.
Look, back where I'm from, we called that the welcome to Texas. I saw enough of that back in my day, and now PkChris, I mean, got 2 KOs with it already, and I'm sure that the crowd is begging for a third.
Yeah, but HBox definitely going to try to close this one out. Oh, nice block. That's how you do it. Yeah, you know what? If he can't hit himself, he's just going to die anyway, so GG's.
That's what he was looking for the first time, too, and then he ended up falling into the whole PK Thunder 2 because he was a little bit late, but HBox is not the kind of guy to miss the same edge guard twice.
Right. Yeah, very smart right there. Just waited it out at the right time. Avoided the up air, not the Papa John.
The pizza again.
Yeah. It's like avoided the up air and then immediately jumps out there to go ahead and snipe that first one. I think it's just bad where he ended up. I mean, he was definitely in a spot where he could have done the double PK Thunder, but I think he was so close to the stage he just wasn't expecting to get it. So, and this good edge guard, man. Wow.
Yeah, using the lingering hitbox of that pound is so smart right there because Puff does have a lot of other lingering hitboxes, but pound is just so hard to contest in general that it really works even against like a PK Thunder 2 like Ness is bringing to the table. And yeah, that's kind of the crux of the matchup too, right? Is that on stage you'd expect that Ness might be able to bully Puff a little bit, but off stage he shouldn't really ever be able to make it back.
Yeah, and that's a good point right there with the pound. I feel like pound, you know, it is a very long and lingering hitbox, but also it does a bunch of shield pressure too, so it's just one of those things that you have to work around. But it always feels like you can't really punish it either because of how long the hitbox is. Like she'll just be posing there and it'll still be an active hitbox. And you're like, all right, well, I thought I was going to get past that, but no, not this time. So
even if I have actual disjoints, I still feel uncomfortable trying to contest that. I'm like, I think I'll just let this go back to neutral and I'll set up here.
Yeah, I'll wait for whatever your next option is. Most likely probably a nair or something, but either way, man, HBox scrapping it up, getting a lot of up airs right now. Doesn't get the throw, though.
Yeah, definitely got a little bit greedy on the mashes, and PkChris is the kind of guy that knows how to escape these situations. The problem for him has been getting the consistent damage, right? That there's been, maybe a miscue from HBox that gives PkChris. Again, he took 2 stocks in that last game with the PK Thunder 2, getting them really early. The problem for him now is going to be getting that consistent kill confirm, and that's tough when HBox is just constantly staying outside your bubble.
Yeah, but HBox, I mean, yeah, as I said, the spacing on him is really good. Good down air into the grab. Finally pushes him off the stage and yet jumps out there with him. I like the idea because you definitely have a lot of, aerial momentum and options to go out there and try to chase Ness, but unfortunately had to get back to the stage. Try to get a hard read with that F smash, but not going to happen.
Well, missing that down air as well. Thankfully, has that really large auto-cancel window, so it doesn't leave PkChris vulnerable. He is able to take control of the game back, does take the first stock with that nair as well. And now we're going to see how the game plan changes because we mostly really only saw the game play with HBox in the lead or with things up to even. I want to see how PkChris gets to play with the lead now. Yeah, I mean, because if he can extend this lead until at least like 50%, and he's already threatening that next stock on HBox if he ends up dying in one of these back airs or potentially an edge guard here from HBox. And there it is. The 50% is delivered. Which is kill percent, let's be honest.
Yep. The 86, yeah, if he gets back thrown right now, it's over. 120 rage, doesn't even need the back throw, actually goes for the up smash like that, yeah, but 120 rage here onto a Ness against a 82% Jigs, that was death.
Yeah. Boy, they've made that back air something special in a different way than it used to be. You used to have the mile-long hitbox, and now it just hits like a forward smash.
Hey, HBox trying to get back onto the stage. Oh, all right, getting kind of pieced up right here. Run into a lot of, standard Ness play altogether. I think he's getting caught up by some of the, I guess, B&B Ness things. I don't feel like Pretty Boy PkChris is really, changing or playing out of the textbook, but what a textbook rest right there from Jigglypuff, from HBox, who was now sitting on a chance to make this a comeback.
If you've watched Melee before, you know that Hungrybox may be more likely to win this game than PkChris is.
Oh, yeah.
He is Clutchbox for a reason, but he's going to have to find a way to do it without getting juggled into that top blast zone, making great use of that aerial drift to get back down underneath PkChris and hold on a second.
Uh-oh. Okay, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, okay.
No double
jump.
What is Hungrybox doing out there? That is an incredible...
Wow.
He won. Okay.
Wow.
I had to hold my breath, and HBox did too.
That's the Juan de Bedma right there, bro. Like, I don't...
Yeah.
What just happened? What a way to bring that one all the way back. Holy, and we're in best of 5 territory already, too. So, I mean, that's a really big win for him. Now he's up 2-0 in the set. Did not realize we were in best of 5 already. It's 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's 4 o'clock on a Saturday,
round
bro.
Round 2 pools are best of 5 here at Shine. This is a tournament for the people.
Yeah. Y'all love the top 256, top 128, top 1028 best of 5. So, here we go. That was good.
I think that, yeah, I mean, HBox showing off definitely, again, right, he's used to playing in those clutch situations, and even if this isn't his primary game as his opponent, that still sits in the back of your mind that Clutchbox is just that much of a legend that you have to respect, and ends up coming to fruition. And in a best of 5, right, this is a situation where now HBox gets a lot of breathing room. He's not going to be caught off guard by a lot of new ultimate things because he can really play the player rather than just the game now.
Right, man. So, yeah, I mean, like, I think that's really good, too. Really good thing to point out. When he had first started, I mean, I do think he was trying to just do a lot of, like, oh, I'm using my melee fundamentals. But it seems like as time has went on, more coin boxes and, just being able to play the game more. He's definitely learned more about, like, Ultimate's finer things and intricacies and is applying them a lot better. Oh, wow, at that. Get bodied.
That's classic HBox.
Yep.
Straight up spot dodge. Spot dodge cancel into rest.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Perfect person to do it to again. Got through. It's kind of sometimes it can be a little hard to get through Ness's dash attack, but no, yeah, he spot dodged through all of it. Ness directly on top of you. It's time to drop that rest.
That's that kind of reaction time. And again, like, that's one of those rare moments, actually, where you kind of see, like, the melee puff play in. Because you were talking about it. His ultimate puff has its own identity that's really unique from his melee puff. And you can definitely tell, I mean, certainly in the Punish game, it is custom.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, as you said, though, that was definitely a very melee rest.
Yeah.
So he's still keeping a little bit of that in the pocket. But, okay, PkChris doing a good job of keeping HBox off of the stage. Another back air is going to go ahead and seal the deal. So good stuff to HBox right there. Oh, gets a little greedy with the rest. That's also HBox classic. He has to go for at least one, right?
Especially when you're up 2-0, right? Why not try to go for the clip and, get the fans excited, right? I know a lot of the H fam are in the chat probably cheering him on.
All right. Trying to get back down to the stage. HBox once again a little far behind, but not to say that he can't bring this one back. You saw what he did in that second game, but he does need to get this stock off sooner than later. Finally gets a hit there. Okay.
I just love watching Hungrybox sit in center stage and wait for an approach.
He dies, though. Yeah.
He does die for that. Yeah, Puff in this game, if you don't know, if you get a hit with the rest, you come out of it a little bit quicker than if you whiff. But it's not quite enough when you don't get the star KO. So PkChris does get one on the board, possibly starting up that reverse 3-0. Again, tough against a guy like HBox, but you got to get one on the board to get things started.
Yeah, I'm sure HBox would at least, if one of those star KO'd, he would have been fine, but yeah, both times he gets the rest and immediately dies for it. Unfortunately, that last time, it was on his last stock. So yeah, gets the rest, looks good, and then you get back air, and that looks better.
I especially like you talked about the back air, and in that particular situation, kind of played point to the fact that PkChris starting to get really adjusted to how HBox is trying to exit out of disadvantage. Mostly, I feel like the approaches are generally, again, just that kind of bubble theory that HBox likes to tout and be very mysterious about, where it's more about getting you to leave yourself vulnerable than start things off himself by approaching you. But out of the disadvantage, PkChris has picked up on a couple of habits.
Yeah, no, PkChris definitely looking good there in that, in that third game. Now as we move over to the fourth game, see if he can actually get himself into a fifth, get to a Game 5 situation as our first set. But yeah, HBox, I mean, really clutched out that second game win. Might have been able to do it if that turned into a star KO, but unfortunately got the blast zone off the top, so he ends up eating that back air. Right back into it, and here we are on to Smashville. Let's see if HBox, if this platform layout will help him out a little bit. I mean, he can definitely shark a little better here as far as the center stage, but it doesn't seem to matter too much for him. PkChris might be unlocked right now.
I mean, PkChris is just doing such a good job of holding on to center stage, and it's kind of the thing that I fear about HBox taking the Ness to this stage, is that Ness is really good at just sticking under this platform and stuffing you out from taking control of the game from him. Yeah, as a Puff, I think that the biggest thing you gain from this is the ability to quickly get Ness off stage, start up those edge guards, right? Like with that forward throw, even from center stage, it puts him at the ledge. But ultimately, PkChris is getting so much mileage out of his advantage state here.
Hey, man, PkChris. Okay, he's going to make it back to the stage. HBox not going to be up there, able to get out there fast enough, but some decent damage here onto PkChris. Wow, okay, right off the ledge.
Goes for it again. I can't believe that moved 2 frames. That's, like, ridiculous.
I think that first time he might have, like, slightly, jumped off the ledge to try to get it up air, but this time he delayed it. But, yeah, it might, I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like that hitbox is deceptively low. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and look at it. Let me just, I got ultimate frame data. Let's go ahead and look at it.
That's the Puff classic, isn't it? You go, okay, I know what that hitbox looks like, and then no, you don't, actually.
Yeah, what is there, 3 of them all together? Like,
and like you said, it stays out for so long that it must be very effective in that situation. Nonetheless, though, the DBZ sending them both into the side blast zones, and PkChris getting to play with a clean stock lead, and we just haven't seen HBox be able to match him in terms of this punish game.
All right, so Puff's pound hitbox definitely covers just a bit of her foot, so I can see it.
If it's well spaced.
Yeah, it's pretty well spaced. Hold up. So they're going to get back down. Nice. HBox still, though, very far behind. Has to figure out a way to get this stock off. Maybe, okay, that was a hard read he was looking for. Maybe an air dodge in, but even then, I thought you were going to just continue the pressure after hitting that neutral air.
I mean, at this point, you see HBox is taking a lot more aggressive landings, right? Going for these aggressive edge guards because he's down that 2-stock-to-1 scoreline, and he knows that one more hit will send him to a Game 5. That's why he had to go for the big plays. But now, after all that action, HBox gets 2 in a row, PkChris gets 2 in a row, and we're in Game 5.
Yeah, but PkChris is looking very strong in these last 2 games. Obviously he was looking strong in the in the second game as well, but the comeback factor here, or the clutch box, really showing up. Not really having a great time here in these last 2 though. So now as we get into Game 5, let's see where we're heading. We have banned FD, Kalos, and Town and City. Yeah.
So. And those all make sense because that's giving Puff the ability to play in the air, kind of just run away from the Ness as much as she likes. Whereas when you have platforms in the way, that gives a sort of safe zone for PkChris to sit under and either, play anti-air. Like, literally he's an anti-aircraft cannon with the PK Thunders, and he just sits under there and says, good luck getting to me safely. That's why we saw a lot of success on Smashville. HBox has got to find a place where he can feel comfortable opening up PkChris instead of just hoping that he's going to give him some mistakes.
Yeah, so he's thinking pretty hard on this character or this stage pick. I did finally hear it as we get into it. Let's see what he see what he decides to go. I was going to say we'll see what he decides to pick because he's now hovering Wolf, but it's Jigs. Come on.
I wouldn't think that he would be going anywhere except for the Puff, but I mean, you almost consider, right, if he has another character. The Puff has really been adapted to really, really well by PkChris. Now he's changing up the stage to Hollow Bastion. So this is going to be very similar to Smashville, except the key part of this is that PkChris's punish game is going to suffer because that stage is so much larger than Smashville.
Yeah.
If he's going to sit underneath that center platform, it's going to be a lot harder to toss the Puff off stage.
All right, let's go ahead and see what HBox brings to the table here in a Game 5 situation. This is his counter pick. So he does have to figure out how to actually beat this opponent, as these last 2 games went well into the favor of PkChris.
HBox making use of that long track of stage there, too, to just air dodge away, and it's a huge air dodge because Puff is so floaty. And then she's able to go all the way to the corner, and Ness is not exactly the fastest character in the game, so it's tough for PkChris to chase him.
Yeah, not at all. This Ness character. Okay, managed to get all the way up there, but yeah, still. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of pressure coming out here on the shield, but not on the damage here from HBox. We've got a lot of pounds on shield, and eventually, if he hits it at a low enough situation, he could break it, but what are you going to get off that shield break at 7%?
Yeah, I mean, as a Puff, unfortunately, rest isn't just the auto KO button that it used to be. You have got to build up the damage, and man, PkChris, the defense has shored up so well. Been talking a lot about how the offense has been outpacing HBox, but you have got to give him some credit for how he has not been opened up too quickly. As I say that, though, HBox has a prime edge guard opportunity, but can't close it.
Yeah, it was too close. Didn't actually get the tail, or didn't get the head of the PK Thunder. So he ends up getting scooped up by the tail, and then has to just retreat back to stage because he doesn't want to get PK Thunder 2'd. And so, yeah, what could have been HBox's, door, open to get back into this game has now just immediately been shut in his face. This is rough. Oh, back throw, getting him out of there.
Yeah, PkChris with a very large lead. HBox does get one and gets the star KO, so there will be no punish from PkChris on that rest. Down one full stock. We saw this earlier in the set, and that was a game that PkChris ended up winning. So HBox has got to find a way to turn the tables.
Hey, yeah, these down airs are coming out. He's looking for that for sure. You can see him fishing for just down airs. That was 4 down airs that he threw out, but finally hit one. Puts him off the stage, but I think, yeah, the edge guarding of this Nest seems to be a little rough for him right now. I'm liking the spacing he's doing of these down airs, though.
I mean, it is, again, one of those situations where he's not getting punished too hard, but what is the reward that he's going to get off of it? And right now, in fact, PkChris has been able to counterattack them a little bit, and most of these down airs, if they're not leading to a rest, they're not leading to much.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of those moves you expect to see a lot if you get at least like 3 or 4 hits out of it. You start to expect to see some, Jig's magic, but he has not been able to make it happen just yet. Hey, still has some decent damage here onto. Wow, what a reversal right there from PkChris.
Yeah, using the magnet to turn that from, okay, I'm hitting you into I'm putting you off stage all in one clean motion and one clean reverse 3-0 for PkChris over HungryBox, just looking more and more solid every single game as that set went on.